Hi, this is Dr. Kitty. I'm going to show you a series of short videos to get you started with using GIMP. These will cover some of the basic functions that you need to manipulate photos. So to start, I asked you to find a picture that was rather large, either on the internet or from your personal collection, that you can work with for this exercise. So I want you to go now to the file and open it. Now, we could open the file with GIMP by first launching the GIMP application and then going within GIMP and opening the file. But because I don't have GIMP loaded on my desktop as a shortcut, I'm going to use a different method, which is to go to the actual file location. So I know where this file is located in a folder I have here, and the file I want to work with is Niagara. So I'm going to right click on that file name, and then a menu will pop up with open with, and I can then click on GIMP and the file will now open in GIMP. Okay, GIMP opens. And the first thing you'll notice is that you get this message, or you may get this message, import the image from a color profile. So just click on convert, and then the file will open. Now you see here we have a file that's the display is rather disjointed. We have the toolbox over here, we have the layers and brushes over here, and we have the actual photo over here, and they're not connected. So one of the first thing I find this perfectly annoying, and then also because we have in the background. So the first thing that you can do is join these to be a single window. So go to Windows and click on single window mode, and now everything will be joined together as one template. And if you want, you can full screen it so that you don't have any distraction from the background. Now, the other information that's important to note when you first open GIMP is the size of the file. If you go over here to the toolbox, you can see the size of the file in pixels. It's 5146 and 203 3055. If that doesn't mean anything to you, then if you look down here, hover at the bottom of the screen, you'll see that it's saying the file, that GIMP is saying the file is 146.5 megabytes, which is a huge file. And I don't believe it for 1 minute. I think GIMP is exaggerating. So another way to check this, and this helps also with the problem with the scrolling over here in the aspect ratio, is if we go to image and then click on image properties, you'll get more detail. So you'll see the size in pixels is indeed 5146 times 3055. You see also the size in memory is 146.5, but the real file size is 4 megabytes. Okay, that's still a big file. So we're going to, first thing we want to do is resize this file to make it smaller. So the first thing we want to do is under the image tab, we want to go to scale image. And when this window opens, you'll see that the image pixels is 5146 and 3055. Thing that's important to note here is this link. It should be connected. If you disconnect it, then the height and width become independent. If it's connected though, if I change the width, the height will automatically get recalculated. So we keep the same aspect ratio that we had in the original photo. So I want to make this photo about, let's say, a fourth of the size that it was. Right? So that's roughly around 1200 pixels. And when I click on that and then I click on scale, you'll notice that the width automatically changes, and now we have a much smaller photo. We can see that the amount of memory that's being used now is 70 megabytes. Now you'll say to me, okay, well, this photo's too small to work with. Yeah, well, we can go back to view, and we can then zoom to whatever size you want. You could do 100% right here. And now the photo is pretty much looking the same as it was before, which makes sense because I reduced before the photo was sized at 25% zoom, and now I've reduced the size of the photo, and zooming back to 100% is going to make the photo look the same size it was before, but now it is significantly smaller than it was. Now, I want to show you other methods to resize. So what we're going to do here is we're going to edit and then undo scale image, and we come back to the original document, and then we are going to choose instead, we'll go back to image scale, and then instead of using pixels, we're going to use inches. You see, oh, there's all these other possibilities here. So we're going to pick inches. And perhaps I know what size picture I want to print, right? So I want to have a photo that is 3 inches. And again, because it's connected, um, the height will get automatically adjusted. So I click scale, and now you'll see that I have a photo that is slightly smaller than the one that I had before, but it's now sized using inches instead of pixels. Again, we'll go back and we'll do an undo. And I want to show you another way to resize a photo for something that perhaps you want to insert to the internet, or you want to insert something to PowerPoint, something like that, so you can get an approximation. You don't need an exact number of pixels or exact number of inches. So you just click on scale on image, scale image, and this time we're going to select percent. Now you'll see that it comes up as 100%, which of course is what's being displayed here on the screen. I want to change it to be only a quarter of the size. So I enter in the width, I enter 25, and again the height will get automatically calculated, and I click on scale, and then you'll see that we have a slightly larger photo, but it's now scaled at 25%. Okay, this is a fairly decent size to work with. We go to view, we see that it's zoomed at 100%, so we'll leave that. And there's one last thing that we need to do, and which is to go to File, and then we want to export this file as so we first want to go to Save As, and we want to save our project. So you'll notice that it's the file configuration as XCF, so we can just save that. And then we also want to create a JPEG version, so we go to Export or Export As, and then we can pick up the file name. So let's change it to what we want to do for our exercise, which is demo 1, and click export. And then we get some information here we don't really need to worry about right now. We want to then hit export. The file is exported, and we're done with this video.